Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you're able to see and hear me. Let me know. My name is Yuri, and we're gonna do some three.js coding today. And while we are waiting for your feedback, open wine. Gonna be the website we're gonna be decompiling today. I'm gonna put the link in the chat pretty soon. Meanwhile, just let me know everything is fine. Hey, good morning, guys. I'm not sure I'm doing a good thing by drinking all the mornings. Yeah, so today it's kava. Kava. Right, I got it. Good morning, everyone. Hope you have a good Sunday today. I'm gonna pour some kava and then we're gonna get started. Bottle. This is a good one. All right, so I guess we are good to go. You could see me, you could hear me. Let's get started. Switch screens. Here we go. So some time ago, this website got my attention. I think it's pretty cool one. Jack Daniels. No, it's too early for Jack Daniels. Cava Prosecco is the best choice in the Sunday morning. Hello to Kiev. So we have a Kiev community today because everybody else is probably asleep because I made an announcement too late. Anyway, probably you're watching me on the YouTube or on a live stream. Hello to you guys. Thanks for watching. So this is going to be the website I'm going to be kind of trying to replicate, not really the whole website, but just this particular effect. And then I wanted to base this effect on one of the previous streams, like this one. See this really nice teleportation kind of thing. I love this one. So I wanted to base this one and create kind of a teleport and break down this shader effect and break down everything. Hey, you're welcome. Young Padawans. Maybe not so young. I don't know, guys. Alright, so let's get started. Let's not waste time. So it's only 3 minutes into the stream. I already got some wine, kava. Kava, really a wine? Can you call it a wine? I guess it's a type of wine, right? I need to drink a little bit more to find out. To make my continue my investigation with the origins of this drink. All right, what are we gonna call it? I'm gonna call it teleport, I guess, because I think for me it's like a teleport. Anyway, I'm gonna, I'm gonna try a lot of simple things today, but it's been a long time since I wanted to try those things, and I've seen some cool new packages that guys are using with the three.js, and I decided maybe I should try to use them too. Good morning from Canada, and good morning to Dublin. Yeah, guys, just let me know where you're from. It's always cheers me up and motivates me to continue this stuff. If you're watching from some locations, even Kiev is surprising because I'm streaming in English. All right, so let's get started. So just to give all the credits, because this is always like 99% of the time, all the hard work has been done by the developers of the original website, and this is also the case. This is a pretty cool website. I'm not sure who's responsible. I mean, what person was responsible for this website, but it's been done by the Love Phase 5, and I will give all the credits below the video when I'm gonna when I will post it. This is a pretty cool agency, by the way, and they've been making a lot of nice, really nice looking websites. I recommend check them out, and then let's try to replicate this kind of effect. But they're using a 3D model here, and I think this could be a topic for a different stream, I guess, because there's a lot of tech in here, like a post-processing. They even using the LUT technology, if you know what I mean. So there's a lot of cool things here going on. Ternopil. Hey, fine town. All right, so I'm not gonna do the 3D model, but some time ago I actually did a stream with the planet and putting the dots on the planet exactly where the coordinates of those dots are, like the latitude and the longitude. So I'm gonna use that planet instead of this city, and then I'm gonna use some other 360 photos to teleport us to. So let's look at this effect again. So first of all, we have some 3D scene here. This is just a normal 3D scene, of course, with some shaders, some post-processing, a lot of stuff here. But anyway, it's a 3D scene. It's something being rendered with the three.js. But then when I click on something, should move closer, refresh it, break it. Anyway, let's refresh it. Germany too, and to Netherlands. Right, okay. So let me just click on something. So when I click on something, I move to actually some different 3D scene. I mean, a different one. So that's what I wanted to do today, to like show you how you could move between two 3D scenes, because I think it's a pretty common thing nowadays on a lot of webgl websites. And I've never really done that in my streams, even though it's not that complicated, but we're gonna do that with some cool effects, like with this one actually. So let's get started. How did I call it? Teleport. I'm gonna run the project, I'm gonna arrange the windows. I should probably have some nice Apple script to do that for me, since I've been streaming for like 3 years already. But that just shows how lazy I am, probably. I should do that, I definitely should do that. Alright, so we have the preview on the right, we have the editor on the left, maybe left the preview, or for the editor. Don't really need sidebar usually. Go to the app.js, this is the usual thing. Website is in English too. Oh yeah, right. I mean, it's probably something webgl professional, but I'm not really reading any text on those websites. I don't even know what the website was about. I mean, I saw some visuals there, but I never read the text. Not, not cool, Akela. Cool, Yuri. Going to India too. All right. This is the agency. The agency is French, I guess. So we're just paying the tribute to them by previewing the website in French. All right, so let's see the preview. This is our usual template, nothing special, just a plain buffer geometry. So first of all, I want to create two scenes. One scene is going to be with the like with this one, like a 3D thing that I could, pan around and see and have some text there describing what exactly is this scene actually. Well, let's start with that one. I'll probably need another scene later on, like let's call this one planet and this one 360. And then, first of all, let's create, instead of add objects, I'm going to create something called add create 360. And then I'll have create planet thing. Empty for now, but I just created. I'm gonna copy some code from the one of the old streams about the planet. I think it was 5 or 6 streams ago. And yeah, for the 360, I'm gonna just create a new one. So instead of plain geometry, I'm gonna do the sphere, buffer geometry, the radius, I don't know, 10. Gotta be a big one, so we don't really overlap with the actual geometry. So it's kind of a geometry that surrounds us. And then I have to specify how detailed this sphere is. Oh, 30s should be fine. Can you send us the link of the website? Yeah, sure. Go ahead and try it. All right. So we have the geometry, we have the plane. It's not really a plane anymore. It's called a sphere. And then it's not a scene. It's a scene 360. All right. And then when we're gonna be rendering this stuff, we're gonna be rendering the 360 scene. So let's just check it out. Whether we have something. It's probably some kind of error there because add objects is not a function because it's now create 360. Hey, nice to see you. First time. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we have a sphere with some UVs and well, that's it, right? Then I saved a couple of, JPEGs. This one is actually from the original website because I think it's a pretty cool one for this one. But usually they look like this, kind of like this, a distorted image with the aspect ratio of 2 to 1, right? So just one side on the left and then 2 for the width. All right, so let's first take the test, probably, and then we're gonna create more of those. Import what? Here 360 from test deck, and then when I'm creating the, I don't really need this material shader material yet. I can just create a new material with a new texture. Oh yeah, not the first one. Like, you might have attended more streams than I did. That'd be possible. All right, so it's gonna be new 3, 6, 13, simple. No, I think the most interesting stuff is gonna be kind of in the end when I will move to the shader transitions between the scenes and all this stuff. And we're gonna have some quaternions today as well. So it's gonna be a little bit of math stream, not really, but still. So still we're gonna have quaternions. We're gonna have to use them. So we have the mesh basic material, and then let's just use the texture. I'm always afraid I'm doing it so slowly. So tell me if my speed is fine. Texture. Other. Always worried I'm too slow for a stream, but then you can just speed it up, right? I mean, not now, but later. So, and this was sphere 360. Right, so I'm just using mesh basic material for this sphere, just putting a texture on it. And then nothing really happens, but you know why? I know why. I wonder if you know why. That's because we are putting the texture like on the outside shape of the sphere. That's like the default behavior. So I should have used it like the Yagad Matter way. Like you can pause this video and try to find out the solution. But I messed it up. All right, so now we have kind of this thing. Then I think the sRGB is wrong, like the gamma is wrong, so I don't really need this if I'm using the texture. This way it's right, so we kind of have a 360 scene now, even though it's just a sphere, right? And we only see the backside of a sphere, so even if we are looking from the outside of the sphere, we could still see like the backside of a sphere. You could see if I'm moving the mouse to the right, it's actually rotating the other way around. Right. Oh, to Kiev too. Lots of viewers from Kiev too. I wonder why. Maybe I'm from Kiev. Right, because everybody else is asleep probably. Welcome, guys. Happy to see you. Happy to see you all. All right. So we kind of have the 360 thing. We could, of course, what could we do? There are a couple of things that we could do here. First of all, I mean, in production ready kind of website, we're gonna limit the zoom in options. So I'm gonna restrict the zoom in, but I don't really need that for now. I could just pretend that I'm not zooming, so it looks just fine, right? We are in some kind of gift shop or something. What do they sell? Think different? It's not different, it's something else there. All right, anyway, what is this? Right. And then, Nicopter, of course I know Nicopter. Nicopter was the organizer of the Grow Paris conference. Nicolas Bardot, I guess. his name. Yeah, I've been referencing him from my old streams. I think it's one of the coolest French devs ever. They worked on a lot of cool projects. So yeah, but we're just replicating kind of a small part of that stream, which shows how professional the guy is and how like cool the animations could be with just a tiny touch of the GLSL in JavaScript. Right. Okay. So we have the first scene. So we could continue with the second scene, like the scene planet. So we have the 360, we have the scene planet. Scene planet doesn't have anything yet. I'm gonna put something in there. I'm gonna move my shader material. I don't really need this, that kind of thing. I don't really need this material here neither, but okay. Let's do something. And then what we could do, let's test mesh. And then new free plane on, just to see that the scene is working and being rendered somewhere on the screen. And then this material. So now we are still rendering the old scene, but we could do this scene, that planet add test mesh. All right, test mesh. Yeah, check out the Anthony stream also as well. I think I gotta move to Twitch maybe. Maybe I could stream to both platforms. Everybody's streaming on Twitch these. Yeah, the test mesh scene planet, we have to see something. So there's some kind of error probably because uniforms undefined, because I don't have material here yet. Also have the resize function that I don't really use. So we have this, and then if I switch the scene to the scene planet, let's leave this one as a comment. Planet. Then I don't see anything. And that's because I don't really know why. Probably in planet. I'll probably initiate two controls just to be able to, well, not now, but yeah, two cameras and two controls just to differentiate between those. And then just gonna be a copy of camera for now. I'm not even sure I need that, but just to be sure, extra sure everything is separated. And then I'm not really running create planet, I guess that's the reason. Really function at all. Yeah, right. Now we are rendering just the planet scene, and we see like just the only thing that's been added to that scene. Now when I add some kind of planet there, actually planet. Let's see the stream with a planet. A lot of stuff here. Name, planet stream. So this has been the stream about the planet, and I used the texture for the planet. And you know, the funny thing about it is actually when you want to look around you, you're using the equirectangular kind of image, the texture that we just used here. When you want to look from the outside on the planet, you're actually using the same kind of texture, the same proportions, and the same distortion. So it's kind of funny how the world around us is actually behaving the same way as the world we want to look at. Like the planet, we want to be, yeah, I don't know, moving around the planet. I guess there an obvious geometrical thing underlying this all, but I kind of like this thought that the world outside and the inside is kind of the same texture in the end. All right, so I'm gonna use this earth texture. I could probably use some JavaScript from here because we actually use the a lot of interesting stuff in here. Like for example, we actually find out the functions that are working to convert the latitude longitude coordinates into the actual like 3D coordinates on this particular sphere. So I'm gonna copy this function. This one, this is the right one, this one is the wrong one. Actually made a mistake in that stream, which I figure it in the end. All right, so this is the function for this particular texture. Now it's kind of texture dependent, because if the texture is going to be shifted a little bit, those angles might change. But for this particular texture, it's gotta be working, fine. All right, so I want to create the earth now. The earth. Right, I have it now. The earth JPEG. Perfect. And now I want to create another gear buffer geometry, probably. Gear buffer geometry. And the material I'm going to be using, I'm going to just create another material. This shaded material is kind of sad because I'm moving it around but never really using it. Let's start with the basic. Ooh, this looks weird. Is it? Right. I like this kind of earth. I guess it's gonna be like so hot right in on those edges, right? Because they're gonna be much closer to the sun than all the others. So this is to everybody who thinks that the earth is plane or the earth is a sphere. This is how the actual earth looks like. Trust me. Alright, so I gotta fix it anyway. So this looks boring, but I guess this is gonna work with my function for the latitude and longitude conversion. So anyway, this is the earth. Now, what I need now, in that stream I actually put a couple of things into the sphere, I mean into the earth. And for that I needed some coordinates, and while I'm there I could just copy a couple of those coordinates, so I know, because I know where they were, those coordinates. Actually put some comments there, it's like Cancun, the parte escondido, and first one is probably Kiev. Yeah, so let's put them here. I'm just gonna create actually an array of those dots, like all the points I'm gonna put into the array. Gonna be some data, maybe even here. This is gonna be an array of objects, and then we're gonna have the title like Kiev, then chords like these ones, and then I'm gonna have a couple of other points like that. Let's see the Cancun. Why not? Why not? And let's see the Paris, because this stream is from the French developers. So Paris in what? Flat long. So these are my coordinates for the Paris. I guess one of them could be with the minus or something. I don't remember how the north and the east sorted. But I guess it should be like a Kiev, but a little bit different. Yeah, so this one is, I guess it's right. So it's 28 degrees from Kiev to the west. That seems right. Enough. That's enough of points. And probably later on I would need some kind of texture there, like the texture, and then for now let's just put the sphere 360. Kind of have the data for our website, like a lot of points of interest in Earth. From Marseille, all right. All right. Marseille it is. This is a live stream, you know, I can do anything, so it's gonna be a Marseille. All right. It's gonna be hard to tell because I'm gonna put some objects like half size of the Earth itself, so they're gonna cover the whole Europe, but anyway. Let's make it right. Let's make it right. Should have copied all the numbers actually, because like even those, like the fourth or third number, it makes a big difference. All right. So what else? Actually creating two scenes, just copying the old stream now, and then let's not focus on this too long. So when I created the actual Earth right here, I called it a test mesh, but it's not really a test mesh anymore. It's actual Earth. But then I don't, because I want to group, you know, I want to have my points, my objects on the scene and the actual Earth like related to each other, like connected. I actually want to create a group, so I'm going to do the, no, kind of like a div, just container, just grouping things around, and then group, and then so nothing's gonna change for now, except that I'm gonna get an error, but this mesh is not defined, of course. It's not. Nothing is really defined in our lives. But then I'm gonna create points for each. Those are my coordinates on its 3D space. I mean, not yet 3D space, just latitude and longitude, just geographical coordinates. Then I could actually convert them to the actual coordinates with this function. So calc pos from lotlong on lotlong radians probably, yeah. And then it returns me xyz. So those are actually unit vector. This is a unit vector which is on this unit sphere, and we could just put something in there. So let chords equals p chords let, and then p chords p. Those are coordinates. We could actually log them just to test. Have those coordinates, some numbers, kind of random, but looks like a unit vector. And then we're gonna create something stupid, like a mesh new 3, and then like small ones. Just something to see there. And then this group, then mesh, and copy the actual chords. Let's see what's gonna happen. So actually put something on the Cancun. It looks a bit wrong to me, but no, maybe it's right actually. Yeah, it's just that it covers so much of the Mexico. This is the Yucatan, so yeah, it's right. And this is the where the Marcel is, and this is where the Kiev is. So yeah, it seems right so far. Maybe I should make it smaller. Bumps, yeah, I could see that it's actually right. Actually right. I did that. Marcel and Paris don't like each other. Whoa, didn't know that. So sorry. But we're using Marcel anyway, so eat that, Paris Fox. Right? I'm gonna make a stream about Paris next time, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna please everyone. So yeah, we have those 3 things there. So, but that's not not everything I wanted. So the other thing that I actually want to create some kind of navigation, because I'm using the teleport. It's always nice to have a navigation in the teleport. So for this, I'm gonna go to the index.html. I'm gonna create some kind of list. I'm gonna put this list top. Yeah. Let's make it big. 24 pixels. Such a big one. 24 pixels. Okay, and then here I'm gonna just create the like let L is gonna be a document. Let's remember we're still a front-end developers, so we could use some DOM like elements. Create element like a div probably should be enough, and then div inner equals what? The title, and then this is going to be the list element that I just put in there, and then list and child. Oh, crap. Yeah, so now we have the Cancun, Paris, and all that stuff. And then in here, in this for each loop, we actually create event listener. I mean, this could be easier with React probably, but put all those events and stuff. But anyway, so here I could just, I could just do, and it's gonna work, right? It's gonna be Paris, Cancun, yeah. What I want though, on each click, I wanna rotate my planet pointing right at me with that particular city or place on the planet, because later on I would create that like zooming in animation, a cool one. So it's gonna be two parts, first one and the second one. Okay. I mean, do we still have both scenes here, like both working fine, right? Yeah, so this 360 and the other one kind of outside 360 planet. All right. All right. Which cities in France actually like each other? I mean, if Marseille and Paris don't like each other, are there any cities that like brothers? Or maybe like all the cities except Paris are like brothers. Curious about this. Okay. Where do we go next? Where do we go next? Moving around. So now I want to rotate my planet to point right at me. It's not actually that complicated, but I will need to update my function, I think. So instead of returning just the XYZ, I'm going to do the vector. That's going to be an XYZ thing. And then here I'm going to return vector and then the quaternion. And then the quaternion I'm going to just create from the actual from the angles, I guess. If I have the phi and theta, I guess I could also create it from the XYZ. But the way that I remember first is from the theta and the phi. And so let quaternion gonna be equal what? U3 that exists. I'm gonna create new quaternion. Quaternion is actually just another fancy word for the rotation. So I'm just gonna save the angle to which I gotta rotate this whole thing. And this is the easiest way. And I think they have set from Euler, I guess. This is the right way. Set from Euler, and set from Euler is, what does it need? Parameters does it need? It just needs the Euler parameter. All right, that makes a lot of sense. But then I need to create this Euler thing, right? And Euler thing is actually, what does it need though? It needs the, well, it could be XYZ actually, but it could also be, I think, phi theta or something like that. And then the XYZ. Right? Oh yeah, this is the one. So I could just set it. It's gonna be new 3 Euler, and then like the phi theta. That's probably gonna be a wrong angle, and you know, because of those like shifts, because the texture and the actual start of the geometry of the sphere buffer geometry are different. We will probably need to change theta. Phi is gonna be nice, it's gonna be fine, but we're gonna change the theta. So it's gonna be, and then 0. The last one is 0, and then I need to specify the XYZ. I think it's this way. Order. All right. Now we have some quaternion here. And let's just rotate our thing to the quaternion. Okay, we have some error. No? Oh yeah, because I messed up the object that this thing is returning me. I gotta use it a different way now. In my for each loop. So coords vector. It's gotta be coords vector. Because I also have coords quaternion now. And then on click, I'm gonna just do this group quaternion copy coords quaternion. Quartz quaternion. Yeah, so essentially what this does, it should rotate my whole group, like the planet and all the dots, pointing right at me with the exact city that I clicked on. Right. So far so good. So let's click on Kiev. It's kind of rotating somewhere. So again, I think the vertical angle is right, but then the other one is not. So I think I remember the exact shift. I'm gonna just try it right away. Like theta1, I think it was something like this. To correct this one, so it's gonna be theta1. Let's click again. Yeah, so it's Kiev now pointing at us. It's Cancun, and that's Paris. Oh, I mean, it's so this whole time. It's not Paris anymore, I'm sorry. Apologies. Alright, so this is Marcel, and then the Cancun, and then the Kiev. Set from with set. Yeah, but this still works, right? I mean, it's still working correct. Maybe that's the same thing, right? Okay, so now we have this. Now I want to create the animation. For this, I'm gonna create the. I need the current quaternion of the scene, like where, because I could actually rotate this one, right? And I need the final one, and then we could move on. Finally, could move into the shader transition in those two scenes. So I'm gonna create the temporary, like the temp. What? Three. There are probably a lot of different ways to do that. I'm just gonna do the dumbest, most straightforward way I can think of right at the moment, because I'm still drinking. I'm almost done actually, guys. And Kava turned out pretty strong. So click, and on click I want to animate something. I can create a dump object. Sometimes I do that when I want to animate some complicated things. Gsub to animate this object to p1 with a duration of 1, and on update. You also write your own plugin to animate quaternions, I guess. So, and on update, I'm just going to log for now the OP. So when I click something, I will just animate the object. Go to Marcel. Yeah, we do this animation. Everything is fine. But then what I want to do now, I want to animate quaternions. And for that, I think they have the function slurp quaternions or something. It's like a lerp, but slurp. Like a lerp, but slurp. And remind me what I missed. Anything? No, I guess fine. So temp quaternion. I guess it's kind of makes more sense to call it animated quaternion. And then animated quaternion right here. And then I also want a current quaternion. I want the current quaternion. And the current I actually need to find out right after the click. Right. Actually, current quaternion also an object. Maybe here. Better. Copy this group quaternion. Yeah, right. So just copies the current group quaternion, which is the object that we are rotating right now. We are creating this website. It's in the chat already anyway. So so we have the current quaternion, we have the animated, which is going to be changed, and we have the final quaternion, which is in the quartz quaternion. So we have everything in place. So right now I could do the slurp quaternions, and this one takes 3. Okay. Just find this one. I think 2 quaternions and then the something between 0 and 1, right? So the starting is going to be the current quaternion. The end is going to be quartz quaternion, and then the mix of them is going to be the all.p. And then I need this group. Quaternion, copy my animated quaternion. I guess I gotta be maybe more straightforward way. This is... All right, so let's try this one. Something is wrong with the starting one, I guess, but then it works fine. What is blink on the start? I guess something is undefined or something like that. Why did it blink? It shouldn't blink. Here. Why does it blink? It shouldn't blink. Any ideas, guys? I messed up something with the probably. With what? Where did I mess it up? Far so good. Actually, what we did is pretty cool, right? You can appreciate it for the moment. So we made a rotation point and a tube on planet, but something is wrong. And what's that? For some reason, it blinks for a slight second, but it shouldn't be because the current quaternion is actually the Yeah, it's working fine, but maybe something wrong, something more critical is wrong here. Copy quaternion. Like something is undefined for a slight second, right? Maybe we could get back to this one later on. Kind of breaks the whole smooth experience. Oh, why? Hmm. You click updating, but it after another click it becomes 0 and then new value. But then it should even when it's 0, it should be just the current quaternion, which is actually the current rotation. I guess it should have been fine. All right. Because of slurp. But I mean, slurper just slurping. Doesn't do anything wrong. I mean, it starts with the current quaternion, which is kind of the... Okay, maybe let's put 0 here. What's gonna happen? Will it break for me? Like if I click... It's actually breaking even without the animation for a slight second. It's actually breaking. It's rotating. So I guess I'm setting something wrong. Current quaternion. Okay, maybe animated. Yeah, maybe that's... Yeah, I think so. It doesn't... Okay. Could do that. Still blinking. Such a weird issue, by the way. And it shouldn't be actually set. And do I actually set it somewhere else as well? Ah, actually put that code myself there just to test things. You remember, I just put that code to test things, and this code is actually breaking the. I don't really need this. It's gonna work just fine now. I'm gonna move to Kiev. No, I mean when I change the 0 to P, it was just code setting another time. All right. So now it's fine. It's gonna just rotate us, put us through the globe. Now we are ready. We are ready. So first of all, to make the scene transition between this scene and the 360 scene, I actually need to create those two scenes as textures, right? And first of all, I'm gonna need to create textures. Yeah. I know it's a little bit of delay. figure it out. The reason was me again. I mean, the reason of all your troubles is always you. Yeah, it was caused by me putting that code which said it. Just for the test purposes, you know, but I forgot to. Story of my life. Then, okay. First of all, I'm gonna create a couple of textures to render this scene on. And I will need to create another scene, like the final scene. These are two scenes that are rendering separately, but I need another one to render all together. It's gonna be scene final. It's a final countdown. Okay. And create the final scene as well. Final scene. And for this final scene, I also need another camera. I'm gonna use the camera, final camera, super final camera, and then the aspect ratio, all right, and then the frustum size is 1. I mean, I probably don't need aspect ratio. I could just, yeah, I don't really need aspect ratio. So I'm gonna create the orthographic camera with the like 0.5 to the left, 0.5 to the right, so just a square 1 by 1. And it's going to be called camera final, and it's going to be pointing at the, it's going to be rendering the scene final. Then I need to create the final scene. Okay, we're getting close. Yes, we went through quaternions, we went through 360 photos, through triangular earth. We are moving on. So I have the camera. Then I probably need a couple of textures. So first of all, I need the texture 360. I'm going to be rendering the whole scene into the texture. And this is going to be new three webgl render target probably. Yeah. What are the options that I need to set there? I think the width, the height, and then something else. And then linear interpolation and this stuff like format. Not sure I need the RGBA, but when I tested this thing, I put the RGBA. Then the mean filter. And I need 2 of those textures. Right. I'm creating the final scene. And then I finally need this shader material. Where is it? Yeah, here. It's finally going to be useful. Waited for so long, 48 minutes, that it's going to be useful now. And then the geometry is going to be just a plain buffer geometry. 1 by 1. And then hello, gentlemen. Mesh. This material, and then this scene final. I'm gonna add this mesh. So now I could finally render the final scene. It's gonna be camera final. I mean, I'm gonna leave this one. It's gonna be scene final, camera final. And yeah, we are rendering something. And just to test that we are seeing something, yeah, this is actually my plane, and because it's 1 by 1 and the orthographic camera is also 1 by 1, I could see it full screen, exactly full screen, and all the UVs. So now inside the shader material, I want to create the, what's it going to be, the planet scene here. And then, I mean, I think it's better to do this way. Scene 360, scene planet. And then I kind of want to render this whole, all these scenes into this one final scene. And to do this, I'm gonna need a couple of things here. First of all, this renderer set render target to the, how did I call it? Texture 360. Right, then I'm rendering 360. Then I set another texture, like scene texture planet. Then I'm rendering this planet. Then I need to set the default scene to, I mean, to render something on the viewport final. And to do this, you specify the null So yeah, we have a lot of render going on here. So first of all, we're rendering to the first texture, 360, then to the second texture, the planet, then final scene. And then before we render the final scene, I mean, maybe here, I'm gonna set material uniforms. What do I call it? Scene 360 value equals this texture 360 texture. And then the same for the planet. So texture planet, is it lowercase? So, and then scene planet, right? Am I doing it right? Okay, that's okay. At least we have some errors. So properties undefined. Maybe create plane, create final scene, and then what is undefined then? Material uniforms. Yeah, so I guess it's not lowercase. Lowercase here, texture planet, planet, texture planet. What's wrong here? It's a material Visual Studio Code theme. On here. Uniforms in planets in 360. Yeah, again, what was the error there? So it's exactly this line, not the previous though. It's in planet. Did I name the uniform the wrong way? So it's actually fine for now. And then fragment gonna be scene 60 in planet. And then just to test things out, we could like h3 like 4. It's gonna be texture 2D and then scene 360 UV. And then let's output it. $360. Something is wrong. Valid shader dimension mismatch. Right. So now we're actually looking at the texture, not at the scene anymore. This is the texture because we're rendering only the final scene with just the plain geometry in the end. Right, and then we could also we could actually like S360 and then S planet. This. So yeah, we have those two. Now what we could do next, we could bring again the settings here. Have the progress in there, and here when we have the put the progress in here. Yeah, on the final touch. The final touch is in here. So we are rotating the things, but they're being rotated in the separate scene, which you don't really see, but you only see the texture that's rendered into the two-dimensional thing in the end. Right, right. Actually complicated things we are doing in here, but what I wanted to do, I guess I'm drunk a little bit, but what I want to do is actually make a transition now, right? So for this, I need to change the uniform. Progress, and this. Inside sphere, I should flip on the x-axis. Yeah, maybe. But how will that help me? I don't know. Anyway, so now we have this thing, the progress. Multiply it to see if it's working. This. So, well, there are a couple of things that you could do. Like, for example, plot, mixer, it's going to be equal. to step. We could do something like this, and then it's gonna be equal mix between the 60 and as planet, and then the mixer. Then I'm gonna put the final texture. What did I put here? Yeah, VUV X and the progress. Okay, let's see how it's gonna work for us. So, well, yeah, obviously you're gonna make some kind of transition. I could put Y here just so you. Yeah, and you could make all those weird transition. You could also make a smooth step, and then it's gonna be. Sort of this thing, I guess. Smooth step. And then it's going to be kind of like with the gradients, but you need to account for the gradient width. Yeah, so you get the idea. These actually made a lot of transitions like that in the past, so yeah. The text is written backwards. Yeah, I guess so. That's because I flipped it with the backside. Right. Maybe I should have put it the other way around because I'm looking from the backside of the sphere, and that's why it's kind of the wrong way. But yeah. Anyway, okay. That's not that crucial at the moment. I want to create the transition. We're already kind of an hour into the stream, and I'm yet to create it. So actually, not many steps left, but they are quite curious. So I think in 10 minutes we gotta finish this one. It's so funny to say those, like in 10 minutes I gotta finish this one, because in the end it's gonna be a YouTube video and you're gonna see exactly how many minutes it took me to finish this. So all my plans is just, ridiculous. Not gonna help me in any way. Anywho, we have this texture. So first of all, we have this really nice distortion here when we close it, when we open it. And this distortion comes from the center. So for this one, I'm going to create the function distort, and I'm going to be distorting the UVs. So let's distort the UVs. So I'm going to be replicating their function anyway, but this function is also used, sometimes is referred as a barrel distortion or like a simplified barrel distortion. So it's going to be old UV, and then what else they have, the progress, and then because when the progress is going to be 0, I mean we could call it PR, not mess around with the other progress variable, but the old UV, the progress, and then the exponent. It's like how much explosive the zoom is or something like that. It's going to be also float. So to do this kind of zoom effect, what you need though, you need to normalize the UVs first. So you need to create the I don't know, P0 equals normalizing UVs. So there are a couple of ways to do that, which I'm gonna pick. It's gonna be 2 multiplied with the old UV minus 1. So this makes the UV go between minus 1 and 1. This, okay, and then so this is normalized UV. So when we are let's run it. So for now we see the 360 scene. So for the 360 scene, I'm going to distort the UVs. So back to UV1, going to be distorted VUV, and then I'm going to put UV1 here, and then I need to return something, right? What's wrong with you? Distort no matching or loaded function. Oh yeah, because I'm not specifying all the other variables. So this one is going to be what? Progress. And this one is going to be, I think the guy's been using the variable also dependent on the progress. Now let's use right. When we use the progress, I mean, it's not 360 in the end. So this is what center in the texture looks like. So this is exactly the center of the screen. And I don't really get the nice texture, but at least the numbers in my UV are centered, because I only see the positive numbers, +1 and +1 on both sides. You could actually rotate this one. It's gonna look fun. Does look. Then I will need to zoom it in, and I'm gonna just write the actual formula here, just to simplify things a little bit, and then explain it. Progress multiplied by the length. I mean, it all makes sense, but it's easier to write this down. And then I'm gonna return I gotta normalize the UVs back. So I'm gonna return P1. What? To bring it back, I gotta add 1 and divide it by 2. It's just the like backwards formula of this. Now we have this progress. It's gotta be progress dependent. So this progress is 0. This one is gonna be 0. So it's gonna be just P1 is gonna be equal P1, and it's gotta be the same by default. Oh, not those shader probably. P1 undeclared identifier. How is it? How is it undeclared if I just declare this one? We have 2 P1. Oh, because I'm using P1 here, but I gotta use here. Right. Okay, so let's see what's gonna happen. We're using this kind of nice distortion here. I guess it should go the other way around. So I mean, we're gonna change the numbers now. So I guess here it's gonna be -10 or something they use. So it will go the other way. No, not zoom out, but zoom in. So let's see what's gonna happen now. Yeah, it kind of will look like what we need to achieve now. I think here they also use the progress itself. Divided by 4, I guess. Yeah, I gotta put the dot in here. It's kind of a little bit softer. I mean, it's not exploding at the same point, but then it's growing. Like this exponent is actually specifying how distorted this one is. So the distortion grows with the time, grows with the progress in this case, right? So what else? What else? Now we gotta make the exact transition between those two. So we have this one. The other textures gotta be doing the other way around. And we could specify 2 of them, right? UV1, UV2, and UV1, UV2. And this one, I mean, it's gotta be something like progress, sort of this. And then in the end, I wanna mix them again. I mean, it's already kind of cool. We're not yet animating the second one because I not specified the UV2 for the second one. Gotta be here. Kind of working for us, but the easiness a bit wrong. I mean, you could play a lot with this one. I'm just gonna put the numbers that they used. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put this one. Just where do you see those texts, by the way? Oh yeah, I can see them now. Yeah, let's put it. Doesn't it pleases Alex at least. So we have the right texture in here. And this texture with the sphere 360. And then D, D, D. What else is wrong? Yeah, I guess it's right now. Yeah. Satisfied. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. I guess I'm not gonna. Maybe I could spend another 10 minutes and finish it out, but it's not everything that I wanted to do. Okay, so let's finish this transition first. You guys actually used kind of weird numbers. I'm gonna put them in here because it looks so nice. It just looks nice. The only reason. So first of all, they delayed the second transition. To delay this one, they created another like variable, which is gonna be transition 1, say smooth step 5. So they moved the progress from 0, 1 to 0, 75, 1. So it's kind of in the end of the transition. This is going to be transition 1. I mean, progress 1, we could use it. We could call it progress 1, right? Then, okay. What else? What else? And then we're going to use a different number in here, like a different number for the actual distortion. So this one is going to be different for those two. So first of all, for the first one, it's gotta be an easy one. It's just -10 and then the planet progress 1. So it's going to be -10 multiplied by the progress 1. Let's see what's going to happen now. So the Earth transition is kind of in the end now. I mean, it's already look almost cool, but not quite because we still have some leftovers in here. Wait, what's that? Anyway, because we have the mixer. Oh yeah, because we still have this weird transition, and the mixer is going to be just the progress, I guess. Or we could, the progress 1 is going to be the progress 1, so we could delay the mixer until the very end. Yeah. I think it's almost, it's actually kind of cool already. So, but they actually used a bit different approach in here. So in here they used like the -10 again, so it's kind of big. And then the pow function. So this one means that when the progress grows between 0.5, it's more than 1. This is important. And then power of 32. So this formula, what it does essentially, so when the progress is below the 1, if you raise it to the 32nd power, it's going to be almost 0 almost always, right? But if it's greater than 1, I mean, if this whole number is greater than 1, it starts to grow really fast, exponentially. And I think this has got to be the formula that we will put in here. I messed up something in here. So, oh. Always the dot. Okay. And now I guess I need to change them. I mean, gotta change them here. So I start with the planet and then I go to the actual. Yeah. Now it's right. And you can see that the second transition is right in the end. It only starts kind of 0.75 somewhere there, and then on the last bit it ends. In the first half, almost nothing happens. I mean, you could fix it, you could normalize it, but it still looks kind of fun. So yeah. Now let's finish this one out. So when we do the GSUP transition here, I could create a timeline, but create a delay. What I would do here, I'm gonna animate these settings and then these settings. One, let's delay it a little bit, like 0.5, and then to value 1, right? progress 1. So this settings has property progress, and we would animate it to 1. Yeah, let's see. So now if I click to, let's say, Kiev. Yeah, so we just created a teleport, right? I want to go to Marcel. I don't really have the texture for the Marcel yet. But, well, that's probably Marcel, by the way. Yeah, it is Marcel. At least it works for the Marcel. Yeah. Perfect. This is what I wanted to create, kind of a teleport thing, because when now you go through the clicking all those objects, just to make it a little bit more nice. What do we put here? We're gonna create another touch, another little touch, a couple minutes. So yeah, we have this kind of navigation now, and we could go to Cancun anytime, we could go to Kiev anytime. We would need to add another animation, like bringing it back to the original one, but for now we actually created a teleport. So we could go to any place on Earth. It actually looks like a mock-up for a really nice website when you can travel to any point on the Earth. I actually prepared a lot of things to put in there, like the Singapore, Paris, not anymore. And the New York and all the other cities. But it's kind of hard to find nice 360 photos. The last thing I wanted to create, I want to put the text in there. So I'm going to use Troika 3 text. So when I created the 360 scene, just put some text in there. By default, it's going to be a Roboto text, but Roboto is nice. I like Roboto. Right. You are a wizard. Who are? We are front-end developers. So we have the 360 geometry with the texture bit wrapping, Alex. And then I could create a text here. I could actually put it right in there. What I wanted to create in the end, I wanted to create a couple of groups. So you could actually click on the different cities and just travel to the different cities. But I'm not going to do that. Trust me, it's not hard, right? So my text is new text. My scene, it's not my scene, it's this one. Make it big. I'm always afraid to mess up the name of the city. It's kind of hard to type everything in French. Okay. So let's travel to France now. Sync should be fine. This is one of the easiest way to put text to the 3D scenes. Yeah, so let's go to Marcel now. We are at Marcel. I think they also have the... Let's go to Marcel again. We are in Marcel. Yeah, that's amazing. We just created the teleport. I'm not sure if I want to make the stream longer by the 10-15 minutes just to put all the different cities, because I don't really have the Cancun 360 and the Kiev 360. So just trust me. In here in this loop, you would be able to create like when I created all the points, I would just need to create a lot of groups in here, like inside this for each. So when I'm looping through all the points, I would actually create groups and put them inside the scene. So not just not create the 360 one time, but I'm gonna create a lot of 360s, and then I'm gonna just switch the visibility of all the 360 when I click on the city. So it's not that complicated, but we actually created something awesome, right? This is awesome. I also wanted to create some Lil GUI. Okay, Lil GUI. Let's put Lil GUI. I wanted to test how much it's different, because I've seen on the three.js examples, I've seen somebody using Lil GUI now, And it's kind of a replacement for the dead GUI, so let's just try to be lil GUI. And then you just export from the lil GUI, and then the GUI is going to be just new GUI. And then where is that? Let's just see if it's nice. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a little bit nicer touch for the .GUI controls. Also have the animations. It's pretty cool. Because the .GUI hasn't been updated for a long time, and I really love the theater.js, but the theater.js is a little bit more complicated. So sometimes if you want to go for the easiest, just, you know, replacement for the .GUI, I think this one is a pretty cool one. So let's go to Marcel again. We are in Marcel. Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of almost finished. I just need to put a lot of like additional information because I mean I have all the plan, I have the trailer, I have everything for the course. I just need to put it out. So but for this one I need to create a couple of different things which I'm not able to create, wasn't able to create until this moment. But I hope this week it's gonna be finally out there. Hope so, because almost 99% is ready. You're going to be able to see, preview it, and I mean it's going to be published in a month or two, but you know how it's going on the works. First you see the announcement of the course, and then in the end somewhere it's being posted like in a month or two. Yeah, guys, thank you for being with me today. This is the animation we created. We are traveling to Marseille. We created the teleport here. Hope you like that one. I was happy to spend this morning with you. Hopefully see you next week, maybe like next week, because maybe I could have a short break for 1 week to prepare something really nice. Anyhow, hope you like this one. We did a lot of things in here. Quaternions, creating two scenes, using equirectangular projections on a sphere, then inverting them on the x-axis, then animating the quaternions and animating the fragment shader for the two scenes. I mean, it's crazy what we have been able to create just in 1 hour. Like a little bit more, but still. So yeah, guys, thank you with me. Thank you from me. And hope you have a great Sunday. Do something nice. Hope you have a good mood. Live a good week. And I'll see you somewhere in future. Have a good Sunday, guys. Love each other.